What else? You know what I want to talk about today? I was reading about the Soviet calendar back under Stalin when they eliminated all of the days of the week. Like they still had like the months and stuff, but instead of the days of the week, they did a 5-day work week where they took away like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and replaced the days of the week. This was, the Soviet Union under Stalin. They replaced the days of the week with like, like instead of Monday, it would just be like loaf of bread. Tuesday was star. Then Wednesday was hammer and sickle. Thursday was just like burlap sack. And then Friday, I sort of got Friday was like, it was called pointed wool military cap. That was your Friday. And what they did, I swear to God, look it up. And what they did was, it was this 5-day work week. And the idea was for the machines to never stop. They're like, hey, man, if we want to make this dream come true, we can't be like all taking off on Saturday and Sunday and having the machines stop. We got to keep this, the industrialization or whatever, just fucking plugging along. So they purposely gave like wives and husbands and brothers and sisters and families different days off. So like if your day off, you didn't have like a weekend, you would just work all the time. It was never ending shift work. And then let's say like on like, loaf of bread day, you were given off, but your wife was off on woolen military cap day. And for like a couple of years, everyone just lived this weird existence where the calendar was purposely stripped from like any religious connotation. They didn't want Sunday because that like, Sunday technically was about God and resting, and that put something above the state. So they took all that stuff away. For a couple of years, no one got to really even see each other. All of the holidays were stripped out. They would give you a day off for like the day Lenin was born. I don't know, some bullshit, but he might have came later. I don't even know. But my whole point is they had this thing where they try to genuinely replace a calendar for several years. And it's just, everyone is fucking miserable. No one could see anybody. You would have off and no one else you really knew would have off. You would just sit there you just sit by yourself alone on your day off. And eventually what happened was the machines, from never like getting to stop basically and like cool down, the machines all started to falter and break. And eventually the machines started getting fucked up. So the Soviet government was like, all right, guys, we're going to let you see your loved ones again. And they allowed people to start seeing each other. And then, it's kind of fake as hell. You know what I mean? They're like, we see you and we heard you, but it was just the machines collapsed. That's so sad that like they like pretty much dehumanized their population just to have the machines never stop producing crap, which is funny because I thought communism was more about like chilling, just like kicking up, kicking with the homies. And no, it was just all about the machines, and the machines collapsed. And then they got to go back to the standard Gregorian calendar. So I don't know, pretty chill, I guess. But then the whole fucking society collapsed after that, shortly after. And I don't know, now it's Russia's just fucking Russia fighting. I guess from Russia, I don't think they had a good year at all. A lot of people died. So a million, they say. 1 million fucking people? Jeez Louise. That would piss me off if I was Russian, like that wasn't even true. Someone just talking mess, being like, like 1 million guys died in Russia. And I'd be like, no, we fucking didn't. Probably. You think it's 1 million? I'm under the impression that Russia's winning the war. But look, let's not get bogged down in 2025 conflicts, guys. I just thought that was cool. The idea of just like trying to, as a government, upend time itself to be like, we're in charge of how you view time. And it's like, what a fucking crazy thing to do. It's just so crazy to get that into politics. I was recently, we had a nice little game night, me, my wife, some other couples. And someone there found out that I had never voted before ever until like my wife dragged me to do it this year. And they were like, they had a pretty serious, like, that's like fucked up. You've never voted. And it's like, look, if you want to vote, fucking vote. But like this whole idea that like you can somehow embed politics into like your identity and the core of your being, I don't know, dude. It's like, it's fucking weird. Just fucking don't do it. The whole point of the government is to make sure there's like food and roads so you can go and do the stuff you need to do to get food. Being into that, it's like being fucking stoked on the DMV. That's the government. It's the fucking DMV. It's the capital And it's just like all of the weird human beings who are like, I represent that. And it's like, okay, dude, like, cool, go do that. I'm glad you do that. But all these people thinking they can like wrap themselves up in like any political identity, left and right. It's like, oh man, I hope that stuff falls by the wayside soon, because it is fucking so unbelievably lame to just get into that. I don't know. People ask, you never voted. It's like, yeah, because every single president I've seen, I've been like, this person's a freak. And it's like, I guess I'm kind of a freak, but not like that, man. If I was president, I don't know. I would go classic, like school president style, soda machines everywhere. That's probably why we're in debt. That's probably why we're in debt. We're in debt. I don't know. What's the debt? Like $90 trillion? It just keeps growing and growing. The first thing I would do as president is say, hey guys, we've been in debt long enough. Let's cancel the debt. They could do that. I think they could do that. And they don't. So it's like, I'm not voting for anyone until they say, hey guys, you know that $90 trillion we're in debt? Let's just say, fuck it. I'm the government. The debt is to no, it's probably to other countries. Whatever. Just call the other countries and be like, dude, you really gonna fucking hold me to the fire on this, man? 90 trill. Can we just forget about this? Can we just all chill, please? It's fucking so lame. 40 trillion? Yeah, $40 trillion. The interest on that every year is gotta be, there's no way. Once you're in a loan setup for $40 trillion, like what is that? If I'm guessing these people who own this debt are getting at least 3%. So let's see if we ever can get out of this, because I honestly don't think we can. So here we go. So we have, I don't even know if my calculator, I got to hold it sideways. These are big dog numbers here. Hold on, we're entering big dog numbers. 40, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 40,000, 1, 2, 3. 40 million, 1, 2, 3. 40 billy, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm at $40 trillion. Let's go times 0.03. Let's say we're doing 3% interest. Huh? Let's see. 3% interest equals. Okay. The interest we're accruing on $40 trillion of debt is $1.2 trillion a year. We're never getting out of this. This is embarrassing, dude. $1.2 trillion. And you're going to have a guy every 4 years be like, I'll tell you what, I'm an old fashioned kind of guy. And I get, shut the fuck up. Every year we owe the debt, it grows. If we just pay our payments, the minimum, we pay the minimum, which we probably do, $1.2 million more dollars, $1.2 trillion more dollars. So, next time someone's going to be like, well, you should vote. It's like, dude, get the debt down. Then I'll fucking think about it. All right. Otherwise, what am I voting? It's a fucking bullshit puppet show. Unless we can get out of, I'm embarrassed. Every time I travel to another country, it's all I can think about. I just go, fuck, we're really in the hole for 40 trill. Is that really? That's 3%. 1.2 would be 3% of 40 trill. Dude. About 2 trillion, so it looks like we have a little bit of a higher interest rate too. How much? It grew by 2 trillion. Jeez. Oh, and how? How does it fuck? I've said this forever. If you're in charge of running any enterprise, and if you fell into, let's just say you're in a company and you fell into $1 billion of debt, you would think people would start looking around and go, well, hold on a second here. We're $1 billion in debt and no one's going to stop we were $40 trillion in debt. Once we hit $1 trillion, you're telling me nobody in this highly capable, like million-person machine turned and went, we got to figure out how to get. And if they didn't, it tells me that debt is just a contrived thing that's totally meaningless anyway. Because you always hear that. You're like, well, your grandkids are going to be, 350 million people with $40 trillion. Our great grandkids are going to owe $20 bazillion. And it's like, what the fuck? No, they're not. They're never going to. Like, it makes absolutely zero sense to say that's going to stop us in any way, shape, or form, unless it's like, does our tax money go to paying the debt? I have no fucking clue. All I'm saying is when AI takes your job, right? Forget about the debt. At that point, you should say, all right, like AI taking your job. You know what I was thinking about today? And I don't know if this is like a good thing or not. It's sad. It's scary. It's kind of like, what am I going to do with myself? But then maybe, you know, I'm bright siding, obviously. The cotton gin kind of freed the slaves. It wasn't like the bleeding hearts of people. It was that we came up with a machine that kind of were like, okay, we don't need all these slaves. AI could be the cotton gin of fat, frumpy office workers. That's all I'm saying. How nice would that be? How nice would that be? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, guys,